Hi, teachers. My name is Nicole Douglas, and I teach out of my home. And my studio is called Nicole Douglas Music Studio. And I also, on the side, do consulting for music education technology companies. And one of them is Vivid Practice. I started out using the app, and before that, I was using a different app that shut down. And I asked the creator, Nicola Canton, if I could join the team because I liked it so much. So now I get to do support for a lot of different music teachers, and sometimes I get to talk to parents and students, and I love it. So I thought I'd just do a quick tutorial of how I use Vivid Practice because there's lots of different ways you can use it. This is my test account that just has a bunch of fake students in it, and I prefer to use this view of students in my real account as well, just so that I can see them all quickly this way. And then you just click on the name when you want to enter. Your groups will appear at the top. And when you create a group assignment, it's going to go to all the students that are assigned to that group. You can make that title of the group anything you want. I just named it Jack and Jane so that I could quickly remember that Jack and Jane are in that group. But if you wanted to add Jane Doe or Jill Test, you might want to create a different name there. I'm going to go into Jack's list here, and I can see that I've assigned him a note, an exercise, a few pieces. Yeah. So each one of these has some instructions. Now the note is going to show up on the app's home screen. And I'll quickly remind you that teachers use the website, students use the app. So if teachers want to use their tablet or their phone to access all their Vivid stuff, they'll have to enter it through a website browser. So open your Chrome app or your Safari app and log into your teacher account through the website version. We've optimized it for mobile, so that should work. And then if you want to use the app, you have to be logged in as a student on the app. So, okay, so here's Jack's list of assignments. And I most often do default, but sometimes I will choose custom if there's a particular student I want them to see certain things in order. Like maybe I want to put their theory assignment at the top or something, but most of the time I'm just using default. And then in the Future tab, I like to keep a list of the books the student is working on. So you see how these things are light gray or they're kind of transparent a little bit? So that's reminding me that none of these assignments are in his active tab. So he can't see them right now. And I put notes in here for me that never will get assigned to him. And that's one easy way for me to keep track of some things. In the profile section, there's a place to put a few notes too, but I find that limiting. So, for instance, when I'm trying to keep track of if I've charged students for books, I'll put in here like the name of the semester and then borrowing or purchasing or already purchased, that kind of thing. Keep track of it that way. And then when you are on the active tab and you click this green button, it will move it into the completed. One thing I wanted to show you is once you start getting like a full year or even 6 months and you've got a ton of things in here, totally use this search button to search for a name. So recently I had a student who's like, I want to go back and review this one song I learned last year. And I didn't want to click through and open all the months and find it. So I just typed in one word that I remembered was in the title. The fewer search terms you type in here, the more results you'll get. And it does search accurately from start to finish. So meaning if you wanted to find golden hour and you couldn't remember if you typed it in golden hour as one word without a space, you'd want to just type in hour or golden, or you could try multiple searches. Anyway, regardless, use that there to help you quickly find what you need, and then you can use this button to reassign it. Now, if there's something you want to assign in the future that used to be completed, you would have to assign it. It would show up in their active, and then on their active tab, you could then click this button, the clock, to send it to their future. So yeah, that's how a couple of things that I do to make it easier for me to keep track of what students are doing. As I mentioned on this profile tab here, there's a place where you can put some notes in here, but that's more like who referred them or if there's things you want to keep track of just in general. I'm starting to use this feature more. With most of my students, I'm turning off everything but one. I'm leaving on blocked so that if they're overwhelmed by using Vivid in their first few months, then when they click practice, it's not going to give them a choice of practice types. They're just going to go immediately into the blocked section. So if they're a young student and they have trouble reading or they're still getting to use the app, Sometimes I will turn all of these off. So that's kind of a handy thing that I've enjoyed there. This is where you change their password if they can't get into the app. Remember that they log in using this, whatever their username is here, that's what they need to type in the username field on the app. And then if you need to change their password, you can type in a new password that you want them to have, and then you can send that to them. Another feature I use a ton is this students tab here to toggle through. So at the end of my teaching day, I will usually go through this list here and go one by one and just make sure, did I update everything? Anything else I need to check? Or maybe I just think in my head. Or if I remember there's a particular student I want to look up, I can go there. And that avoids me having to go back and loading the student page and all that. So those are a few quick things there. If you want to access messages for that individual student, this is a easy way to get to that, or you can just click here and it will load all your students there. So those are just a few things that I use, how I use Vivid a little bit differently than other teachers might, and maybe there's something there that you would appreciate knowing. Yeah, I'll talk to you in the next video.